Good morning, this is Jack charting the markets, and this is the pre-market webinar for the morning of Tuesday, the 24th of June. My disclaimer, I do this for educational purposes only. I'm here to share my technical analysis with you. I hope you can take some of what I'm doing, learn from it, transfer it to your own charts. I'm not here to issue trading signals. This is a video for paying subscribers at chartingthemarkets.substack.com, and it's published on YouTube after a delay of 24 hours. All right, let's have a look. Well, on ES, the little head and shoulders failed. I've taken it out here and marked it up as a potential double top, and we've actually gone and retested the June high. So wow, this is, I have to say, with the US having attacked Iran, this wasn't what I was expecting. We saw the oil price crash by $10 yesterday from high to low. Extraordinary, but this takes us back, and potentially this puts us back on the bullish track, which I was expecting to see us on. So we will see. We're getting to the stage where we could set up some hourly sell signals, and I'll be watching out for that. But at the moment, we're back. We're retesting the highs, and it's looking good. So we shall see. All right, great. NQ again. Gone back and retested the June high. I think we're going to see a whole test of June highs pretty much across the board on the US indices today. RTY getting close, YM getting close too. This looked like a bull flag and it's broken up. In terms of the head and shoulders here, that's just, that's failed too. So that failed once already. We're now well back above it. I think we're going to go back and retest the highs. DAX and the STX, we're back testing the monthly pivot on DAX. That needs to break and convert, but this already looks like a bull flag, which has broken up. And the STX needs to break and convert the monthly pivot as well. All right, let's have a look at those on the bigger picture charts. Okay, looking at the SPX chart, looks like we're going to go back and retest the high. That could set up a larger retracement, small double top here, but really, I think we're close enough to a retest of the all-time highs, only 100 points below, that it wouldn't be that hard to get back. And unless we start seeing the more effects from the Iran bombings actually start to play out, and we had the most polite retaliation from the Iranians ever yesterday. They actually warned the Americans and the Qataris, and then they retaliated, and everything was shot down. And it was symbolic retaliation. So I don't know whether there will be more, but at the moment it all seems to have died down, and certainly if you look at the oil price here, it seems to be gone. So for the moment, that's where it is. In terms of the daily charts, we've obviously tested and held the daily middle band on SPX, and we've done the same on Qs. Dyer made its way back over the daily middle band yesterday, having spent last 3 or 4 days below it. So this is all turning back into the green. So IWM, hang on. IWM on the daily chart, we never broke it. Well, we did break it intraday yesterday, but never a break on a daily basis or a close below it. So we're in the green. So I'm thinking retests of the June highs all round, and then we see whether this can go higher. In terms of IWM, just to remind you, we got an IHS which is broken up here and is most definitely held so far, with a target back at the all-time high at 24304, and this is the main pattern that I'm watching on the long side. All right, DAX, weak RSI 14 sell signal fixed, didn't quite reach the possible near miss target, might come back again later, but we'll see whether we can whether this starts moving up and gets back towards the daily middle band, which I've got at 23,832. Looking at Nikkei, came back to the daily middle band for a back test, but at the moment not seeing any obvious reason to think that would break down. We have got some turbulent stuff coming up. Obviously, they pulled out of negotiations with the US, which was scheduled for July the 1st for trade, saying that basically they have no idea what the Americans want, and they just feel that they're being bullied. And also we've got some key elections in Japan next month, which might affect the tape. Okay, let's have a look at DX, where we had this move up here, and we could be retesting the lows. Now, this low is a very important low. We've got a weak 60-minute buy signal brewing. We've got quite a few buy signals fixed or brewing this morning, but we've got one here, and I'm wondering about a retest of this low to set up what could be second low of a nested double bottom. This is a key support area. If we start seeing a break below it, then that could mean that we're starting to see a general breakdown on the US dollar. But it's been holding up very well so far. I won't be assuming we're going to get that until we actually see it. On bonds, on ZB, this still looks kind of like a bear flag. It's not a particularly nice bear flag, gotta say, but it still looks more like a bear flag than anything else. So we will see how that develops. Looking at CL, this amazing move, high to low, we actually got from, on the futures here, we actually got from 78.5 to just under 64.5. That was astonishing, and we're still $12 below that high. Wow, I've never seen this happen in terms of a conflict in the Middle East, but at the moment it does appear, well, it seems far from certain whether there is any kind of a ceasefire that's actually happened. One was announced yesterday, but I don't know. But the oil price seems to be assuming that there will be, that it will die down, disruption will die down, the bombing of Iran will stop, and that oil will be undisrupted, because basically this has given back almost all of the gain that happened when Israel attacked Iran. So watching that with interest. HO again has come back very heavily. RBOB's come back very heavily. We've got weak 60-minute buy signals fixed on HO and RBOB here. On NG, we had the Head and Shoulders, which is broken down with a target in the 3.45 area. What I'll be watching, if we get there, this trend line in about the 3.48 area, as this is potentially a flag, which would, on a breakdown, would be looking for this low here, a retest of this low here in the 3.3 area. But here, I put the obvious trend line target at 4.15. This would be a rising wedge, likely bear flag and resistance target, and obviously it got there, reversed. So watching that play out, but at the moment the move is likely to be continuation down. Right, gold. I was kind of expecting this to retest the high on this Iran stuff, but obviously nothing has really happened as you would normally expect it to happen. So this is pulling back. Well, we still got a bull flag, setting up a target at a retest of the all-time high, and I'm still leaning towards seeing that. Silver is trying to break down from this double top, but obviously you're not getting any traction so far. I've still got an upside target of 39, which I'm still looking for. Palladium. We saw a double bottom which broke up, and that's now made target. I'm leaning towards seeing a retest of this high on platinum. May well see a retest of the high as well. We've got possible topping action here. HG, we've got a 60-minute sell signal trying to fix here, a weak one. But I'm wondering whether we might actually finally see a breakdown. This too looks like a breakdown, which should be setting up a retest of this low. Not a bear flag per se, but nonetheless. We'll see how that develops. On EURUSD, we've got back and almost retested the high here. On GBP, we've rejected back and almost retested the high. USD/JPY, we have pulled back. This is all part of the dollar giving back most of its recent gains. 60-minute sell signals reached the possible near miss target on the USD CAD. No obvious overall pattern forming. Australian dollar didn't quite make it to the actually maybe it did. Almost made it to the double top target, but it looks as though it's rejecting back up to the high. NZ did make the full target, and it looks like it's rejecting back up to the high. Right, KC, we are retesting the low here. That could be the second low of a double bottom. We've still got a 60-minute buy signal. If we were to reach the obvious trend line target, that would be down here in about the 307 area. On sugar, sugar hasn't broken up yet, but it's pretty close to this declining resistance. On CC, we have seen a continuation down. We're seeing a bit of a bounce here, but at the moment I'm not seeing much reason for this not to go lower. I have been looking for a possible overall pattern here, and it's not far away, but it's not there. Possibly. So this could be a falling wedge, but I'm not seeing anything really strong suggesting that's what it is. On CT has broken up from the declining resistance, and that may not be particularly significant. I'm watching the monthly pivot at 68.54. On lumber, this still looks like a bear flag megaphone. And the next obvious target is in the 600 area on ZW. ZW, I'm wondering about an overall megaphone here. If so, we'd be heading back into the support here in about the 541, 542 area. On corn, we are continuing down. 6-minute buy signal fixed. Not delivered anything so far, but then it's only just fixed. Might see a bit of a rally here, might not. On soy, got a possible megaphone here, and I'm wondering about a move down into this target here in about the 1029 area. As soon as we retest this low, we'll have a possible 6-minute buy signal brewing. On soybean oil, bit of a rejection here. We're still holding this breakaway gap support, but we got a possible 6-minute buy signal brewing. On live cattle, this looks like bull flag forming. Lean hogs could be forming a small double top. We got a 6-minute sell signal that hasn't been delivering anything. All right, let's have a look at questions. What are the chances that S&P will make a new high? I think the chances that both will make a new high. Just looking at the charts, I think the chances that both make a new high are pretty good. And at the moment, we can see that the market is shrugging off bad news. And if that's the case, then the charts are suggesting new highs. And actually, I'm leaning towards, and I'm wondering about this, US equities going up in, let's say, 5 or 10%. Don't worry, I'll be getting back to you probably tomorrow on it. It's but there's no urgency on it, mate. So if you lose access to anything, tell me immediately and I'll sort that out. But otherwise, I'll have everything sorted out tomorrow. All right. So I'm thinking that subject to any number of wild things that could happen under this crazy administration, that we could see, let's say, 5 or 10% up on US equities, over much of the rest of this year, and a move up into the rest of the year. After that, I'm less optimistic. I think one of the big dates I'm looking at is is when the Fed head's term expires. That's going to be a big day, because I suspect the person that Trump will want to appoint won't be someone the market will like at all. But that's going to be, I think that's like March to May next year. So in the meantime, I'm cautiously optimistic about prices. We'll see how it goes. All right, great. If that changes, we're likely to see at least some warning from the patterns, and we're going to start seeing 6-minute sell signals develop and etc. But at the moment, I really like it, and that's what I've been writing posts about, and I'll write another one today. All right, brilliant. In that case, I think it's a wrap. I'll catch you guys tomorrow. All right, everyone, take care.